kidnappers really thought they could mess with these parents. From parents beating up the culprits to a pulp, to making daring runs after the assailant, and even snatching back their kids out of the kidnapper's car. They are not staged scenes. They are the actual life encounters of parents fighting against bad guys to save their children. Get ready, as these stories are not only thrilling, they are inspiring as well, proving that when the need arises, nothing is stronger than a parent's instinct to protect. Mom saves daughter. This is literally everyone's worst nightmare. Just imagine you're just coming back from walking your dog in your Queens neighborhood, thinking about what to binge watch next, and bam! Out of nowhere, a masked guy in camo gear jumps you right into your building's hallway. It's straight out of a horror movie. But this terrifying scene was all too real. In the video, we see a teen, Lex, getting ambushed by this dude, George Varsilou, who used to work with her. He grabs her from behind, dragging her down 4 whole flights of stairs. Her mom, Adriana Alvarez, hears the commotion and her daughter's screams, which she says were like nothing she's ever heard before. Imagine that heart-stopping moment. Your brain switches off your own safety mode, and it's all about saving your kid. Adriana chases them down, fighting every step of the way to protect her daughter. They're kicking. They're screaming. It's like a total chaos. They finally reach a neighbor's apartment, and the neighbor joins the struggle, helping to tackle the attacker. Both mother and daughter got pretty banged up. Adriana ended up with a dislocated shoulder and an eye injury, and Lex had knee scrapes. But that day, Adriana proved she was a total hero, stopping at nothing to save her daughter. Deputy rescues kids. This video is just before 7 p.m. in Hillsborough County, Florida, and things go from 0 to 100 real quick. A guy realizes his truck's been stolen, but it's way worse than just losing a vehicle because his 2 kids, aged 4 and 8, are in the back seat. Total nightmare, right? The dad spots Deputy Jonathan Pazmino Alvarez and flags him down in full panic mode, basically pleading for help to find his kids. Deputy Alvarez jumps into action and spots the stolen truck. He pulls it over with no time to spare. Inside the truck, there's this 37-year-old man, Kevin Smith. He's just chilling, like he didn't just steal a car with kids inside. The deputy sorts it out fast, realizes who's who, and arrests the guy. You can feel the tension drop when it's clear the kids are safe. The body cam got all of this on tape, the rescue, the arrest, everything. Luckily, the kids were okay, not a scratch on them. They're back with their dad in no time, thanks to some quick work from the cops. Dad thwarts child abduction. This looks like a normal day at a store, but it will soon turn into a scene straight out of a parent's worst nightmare. It's around 11 p.m. at a CVS on Miami Beach, and families are casually finishing up their shopping. Suddenly, the calm breaks when a stranger attempts a bold and terrifying move, trying to snatch a 4-year-old boy right in front of his parents. Caught on camera, the entire store is thrown into shock. The footage shows the boy nearly being abducted as his parents and bystanders react in real time. The suspect bursts in and leans over to grab the child, triggering an immediate response from the boy's father, who lunges to restrain the assailant. The dad was quick to react and tried to pin the guy down, but the suspect broke free and bolted. That's when the chase kicks in. The dad is running after him, shouting for him to stop. Finally, a nearby police officer gets flagged down and the suspect gets nabbed. Just a wild scene over at Miami Beach, and thankfully, the kid's safe. Quick rescue. This looks like a routine day captured on body cam, but it quickly turns into a heart-stopping rescue operation. In Atlanta, police responded to a high-stakes situation. A 9-year-old child kidnapped right from a car parked in a lot. The suspect, 38-year-old Darius White, didn't just steal any car. He took one with a child still in the back seat. The Atlanta Police Department, along with state and local law enforcement, sprang into action to track down this car thief and save the child. The video kicks off with the officers arriving at the scene, where they meet Miss Jerica Moore. She recounts the chilling moment she stepped out of her vehicle, leaving her keys and her son inside, only for White to jump in and speed off with her child. The body cam footage captures the tense moments leading up to the rescue and the arrest of Darius White. Airport scare. Now this one will give you chills. As you can see in the video, the mum is just strolling through the airport with her two kids, nothing out of the ordinary. Suddenly, out of nowhere, things take a wild turn. This woman, 26-year-old Esther Daniels, decides she's going to try and snatch the youngest kid right out of their stroller. The mom, like any superhero without a cape, instantly springs into action. She clamps down on that stroller with all her might, not about to let anything bad happen on her watch. That's when you can see the dad running towards them to save them, but the kidnapper doesn't stop there. She then tries to grab the older child. While this is going down, the police officer arrives at the scene and intervenes. After a while talking to the officer, Esther charges the family again. It was at this moment when other officers showed up and took her down. They handle Esther, taking control of the situation and making sure everyone's safe. Mom wrestles son from Kidnappers. It's 8 p.m. in Queens, and things are about to take a wild turn. In the video, you can see this old maroon car roll up. Then, out of nowhere, this guy in his 30s jumps out, dashes to a little kid chilling on the sidewalk, scoops him up like it's nothing, and sprints back to the car. They try to make a getaway with the kid. But here's where it gets intense. The kid's family isn't having it. They bolt after the guy, full on rescue mode. The mom doesn't miss a beat. She reaches through the car's front passenger window while the car's moving and yanks her boy out from the back seat. And get this. The other guy in the car, some older dude in his 50s or 60s with glasses, just sits there during the whole commotion. The little guy, who's only 5, comes out of this unscathed. The suspects, they peel out and disappear. Cop rescue kidnapped child in minutes. It's just a regular day in Louisville, Kentucky, when suddenly a 6-year-old girl riding her bike outside her house is snatched up by a man in a red Challenger who speeds off. A total horror. But thanks to a quick-thinking neighbor who catches part of the license plate, the police are on it in no time. The Louisville police force mobilizes like superheroes. Within just 10 minutes, they spot the suspect's car. The scene gets tense as the police close in, and the suspect surrenders without a struggle. Everyone's holding their breath as the officers approach the car, hoping for the best. They find the little girl safe in the front seat. The girl is rescued, and Robbie Wilt, the kidnapper, faces serious charges and a hefty bail. California kidnapping. A super scary moment went down in a California cell phone store when a man tried to snatch a 4-year-old girl. The whole thing was caught on camera, showing the mom holding her young child while her daughter played with a candy machine nearby. Out of nowhere, this guy swoops in and tries to grab the little girl. But quick thinking saved the day. The mom and another customer bolt out of the store, and somehow the little girl manages to break free. Talk about a close call. Teen wrestler saves pregnant woman at gas station. A regular day at a Las Cruces gas station turns intense when a dude starts freaking out, trying to break into a bathroom where a pregnant woman and her kids are hiding. The whole place is on edge, and no one's able to stop him until 16-year-old Kanan Bauer shows up. Kanan, a district wrestling champ, wasn't even at this spot originally. He was about to leave another station across the street when he heard screams. Seeing a woman and her baby in distress, he doesn't hesitate. He books it across the street to step in. Once there, Kanan sees this guy all bloodied up, slamming against the bathroom door. With pure instinct, Kanan grabs him from behind and takes him down. While he's got the attacker pinned, people are ready to lose their minds on this guy, but Kanan keeps it chill. He manages the scene, making sure no one else escalates things until the cops finally arrive. Did I mention he is just 16 years old? Yeah, what a mad lad. Finally, the cops show up and take over. A day saved all thanks to this hero. Walmart horror. Alicia Keating and her two daughters were doing the usual, cruising through aisles, tossing groceries into their cart. They had no clue that their typical shopping trip was about to flip into a full-on nightmare scenario. Suddenly, out of nowhere, this guy Sammy Wallace comes up, grabs one of Keating's daughters right out of the cart, and holds her at knife point. Just like that, they're in the middle of a terrifying hostage situation. As the store starts freaking out, shoppers whip out their phones and dial 911. Cops show up fast and try to talk Wallace down, hoping to get the little girl back without anyone getting hurt. But the talks stall, and things crank up to max tension when Wallace starts counting down from 60, threatening the worst if he doesn't get what he wants. Every second ticking by just ratchets the stress even higher. As the countdown inches closer to zero, the cops know they're out of time. With no other moves left, one of the officers makes a split-second decision and takes the shot that ends it all. Luckily, the girl is totally unharmed, saved from what could have been a total disaster by the quick actions and tough calls of the police. Talk about intense, right? Siblings thwart toddlers kidnapping. It is a chill day at the park. Little Owen, just 22 months old, is hanging with his big sis Alicia and brother Brendan when suddenly this random dude decides to snatch Owen and bolt, like literally grabs him and runs. Alicia sees this. She kicks into big sister mode and starts chasing this guy down, screaming at the top of her lungs to grab everyone's attention. And man, does it work. Brendan's right on her heels, both of them tearing down the street after this kidnapper. Alicia's not just freaking out, she's strategic. Her screams are like a siren, pulling in all sorts of eyes, making this dude the center of everyone's attention. This move helps a lot because it builds up the pressure on the guy big time. Mom and Deputy Foil, kidnapping attempt in store. In this video, you can see a guy named Greg Bonello, 30 years old, is casually lurking by a shopping cart, but then things escalate fast. He suddenly grabs a 13-year-old girl, trying to make a break for it. It is a kidnapping in broad daylight. Now here's where it gets heart-pounding. The girl's mom is right there, and she's not about to let this go down. She springs into action, and it's an all-out tug-of-war. She's battling to pull her daughter away from this dude right in the middle of the store. Just as this creep tries to bolt out the door, an off-duty deputy is in the parking lot. Talk about being at the right place at the right time. He spots Bonello sprinting out and steps in before the guy can get away. Cops eventually show up, but the motive behind this kidnapping is still unknown. Hero Grandma. A woman was just walking past a gas station in the Bronx with her 3 grandkids, when suddenly, out of the blue, a situation erupts. A guy, who police later identified as Santiago Salcedo, decides to make a move that's straight out of a parent's worst fears. He swoops in, partially hidden under a blanket, and tries to snatch one of the toddlers right there on the street. The grandma, stuck in a heart-pounding dilemma, has to choose in a split second between chasing the kidnapper or staying with the other 2 boys. Powered by pure adrenaline, she screams for help and bolts after the guy with her grandchild in his arms. It's the kind of chaos no one ever expects to find themselves in. As she's running, the toddler's younger brother and a bunch of onlookers are freaking out. But they don't just stand there. They jump into action, and together they manage to corner Salcedo. Feeling the heat, he finally lets the kid go and tries to scoot away. Quite literally, on a scooter. Yeah, not the slickest escape plan. Cops catch up with him soon after, and he gets slapped with charges of attempted kidnapping and unlawful imprisonment. Crazy, right? Who could have thought the grandma had so much energy in her when the moment calls for it? Screams. Check out this intense moment caught on a doorbell cam at the Nash family's place in Ohio in 2022. Kennedy Nash was just stepping outside to take out the trash when things took a serious turn. This guy, Derek McPherson, comes up and grabs her by the arm. But Kennedy isn't about to let this slide. She lets out this piercing scream that totally throws McPherson off. He panics, lets go, and just books it past her. The whole scary encounter? It lasted less than 10 seconds, but it felt like a lifetime. Kennedy doesn't waste a second. She pulls away, still screaming, and dashes back inside to safety. She tells her dad Ricky about what just went down, and man, does he spring into action. Ricky hops into his car, chases down McPherson, and plays a key part in getting this guy taken in by the authorities. McPherson ends up facing charges of abduction and inappropriate grabbing. Park hero. A normal day at the park gets flipped upside down. Some guy starts off being super creepy with the teenagers, even dropping a bizarre comment about handcuffing one of them. Major red flags, right? But then, things take a more terrifying turn when he shifts his focus to a little 3-year-old girl named Aubrey, who's just hanging with her family. Think about just chilling at home, and then you get this frantic call from the mum, "Get down here quick, someone tried to kidnap Aubrey." Who wouldn't panic, right? The video catches Aubrey's mom and stepdad booking it across the park to where this guy is trying to drag Aubrey away. The stepdad confronts him and the kidnapper tries to swing, but too late. Stepdad takes him down, threat neutralized. The cops roll up soon after and take over, arresting this dude for attempted kidnapping and assault with a deadly weapon. Mom Foils driveway kidnapping. Have a look at this intense situation that went down in Crowley. Paige Ortiz was at the grocery store when she noticed this dude, Stephen Basie, eyeing their truck a little too closely. Little did she know, this guy was about to try something crazy. As Paige went inside to help with the groceries, Basie saw his chance and went for it. He tried to snatch Paige's 2-year-old daughter right from their driveway. Paige caught a glimpse of this from her dining room window and didn't hesitate. She grabbed her phone and a kitchen knife and rushed outside. There, she found her husband wrestling with Basie by the truck. Paige went full beast mode, putting a knife to Basie's throat while her husband pulled their daughter to safety. The chaos didn't stop there. When the cops tracked Basie down at his house, he tried to bolt, smashing into 3 police cruisers during his getaway attempt. But they got him, and now he's locked up facing some serious charges, including kidnapping and assaulting a public servant. Astros Game Day. It was a sunny day in Minute Maid Park. Families were out and about, and this couple was heading to the Astros team store to celebrate the dad's birthday. It's supposed to be a fun outing, grabbing some gear, snapping pics, and getting their youngest son his first jersey. But things take a dark turn real quick. As they're strolling with their kids in a red wagon, they notice this guy trailing them way too closely. They can hear his footsteps getting closer, and then, out of nowhere, he lunges at the wagon. He grabs onto it and then tries to snatch their youngest son right out of there. It's every parent's worst nightmare unfolding in broad daylight. Dad doesn't hesitate. He jumps into action, pushing the guy away and ending up in a scuffle on the ground. Thankfully, Mom grabs the wagon with their kids still inside and bolts. Dad ends up with some scratches and bruises, but their kids are safe. Turns out, the guy who attacked them, Devin Neal, has a history of violence. He ended up behind bars on attempted kidnapping charges. But here's the thing. This could have been way worse if not for their quick thinking and the wagon's safety buckle. All right, folks, that wraps up our roller coaster ride through some of the most scary abduction moments caught on camera. It's crazy to think about what some parents have gone through to keep their kids safe. Big shout out to everyone who stepped up and turned a potential nightmare into a victorious moment. Thanks for watching, and if these stories got your heart racing, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insane real-life dramas. Drop a comment below to let us know which moment had you on the edge of your seat the most. Stay safe, stay alert, and catch you in the next video. Peace out.